Trigger warning. This is a pro-fem channel that promotes the liberation of Black, Brown, LGBTQIA+, and other marginalized folks. We will speak on social issues that will make some people uncomfortable. This space may not be for everyone because of that, and that is okay. It is highly encouraged to do your own research, check your bias, and form your own opinions. Please be respectful when commenting or sharing your opinions, as hateful, bigoted, misinformed rhetoric will not be tolerated. Discussions of race, gender, and identity lie ahead. Please do not watch if social construct topics offend you. Okay, so we back for the TV shows, best and worst TV shows of 2023. We're gonna rank them right here, right now. I'm so excited. Let's do this. Let's get into it. Because I try to push myself out of my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know if you listen to some of the other channels, I don't really. It's an unpopular opinion, I guess. I don't really be liking TV shows. I feel like they're too much of a time investment, which is why I typically like to watch movies. Okay. Um, I prefer them because at least you in for an hour, hour half, 2 hours, and you out, you done. Whereas like TV shows can go on for however many seasons, and you have to keep constantly like reinvesting your time and energy into it every single week, unless you look up and you can binge it like a movie or something. So yeah, I don't really be liking movies. I mean, TV shows and stuff like this. So I did try to push myself a little bit this year. Plus, with certain things that went on last year. My bad. Sorry, I mean last year. With certain things that went on, things were limited, so I did lean more into the reality TV side of things as well. Um, and then things that were already produced. So I don't think there's anything that's terribly new on this. If I'm correct, I don't think a lot of these shows were like new to 2023. Some of them were actually. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to look. But these are all the things that I watched, child, in 2023. So we're going to talk about it and rank them. We are using the same ranking system that we did for our favorite albums of the year. Okay. And please weigh in the comments. What shows did you watch in 2023? Which ones did you like? What did you try and it didn't work out? Let us know. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Mask Girl. Child, this show was everything to me. Um, I would say incredibly violent scenes, so be careful of that if you are someone who is hypersensitive or like a highly sensitive person. A lot of the scenes I did have to look away from. I was a little bit surprised, especially when we're talking about like violence against women and how that was depicted. Y'all know my whole motto is trauma is not entertainment. So certain parts of this I was just like not feeling, but the story itself was super good. I think it touches on like the social constructs, touches on pretty privilege, it touches on like, men versus women in society and how they're prosecuted. Um, I just thought it was really good. I thought they told this story very well, how they laced in the different generations. I thought was super cool, showing, generational trauma. It's pretty in depth, I feel like. Whoever wrote this, like, hats off to you. You did your thing. So I'm going to put this in as given everything. And then later I will go back and like rank the shows per tier based on how how I would rank them first to last. Okay. So the next one, I did watch a lot of real estate related shows, interior design related shows, and reality TV. So keep that in mind. The next one I'm going to talk about is Stay Here, which is pretty cute. It's like basically a real estate expert. Um, I believe, yeah, real estate expert and an interior designer team up to help people who have Airbnbs help them like make them over, make them more profitable, um, and inviting as for a place to stay. I think if I remember right, they traveled all over to different places. It wasn't set in one location, which was nice. I also like that they gave them tips throughout. Like the realtor was helping them build out like a business plan, a budget, and help them realize like how much they wanted to make per stay, um, per week. Like they was getting into the numbers. And y'all know that's one of my biggest criticisms of like the selling series, like the selling sunset, selling OC, and now I think there's gonna be selling Cabo or whatever. Um, but I feel like they don't focus enough on the real estate aspect of it, which is like the part that I really love, like not just the property, but also like the numbers, like the business side of it. I think that's just so cool to learn about. And so this show does a really good job. Whereas like the Selling Sunset and OC, they focus on like the drama between the coworkers. Like I'm just over it. Like I don't care about that. Um, so I thought that was really nice, and it's kind of given a little bit of a Gordon Ramsay vibe in the sense that some of the people were a little delusional about what they was charging for their places. Child, I was like, "You charging that much? That's wild!" Like, so yeah, I would put this. Yeah, I think this is nice. I would put it in per. It was a good little vibe, if you want something kind of like cute and cozy, HGTV adjacent to put on. You know what I'm saying? This is the one. Okay. The next one I want to talk about, and I put it third so we can talk about it and get it out of the way. I have been watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City since the beginning, child. And this season was wild. I think we all have to say, iconic, most iconic season with the last finale episode, child. That was crazy, crazy, crazy. Um, and I just think this was their best season yet. They I know there's like talk of like whether or not Monica should come back. I think Monica absolutely should come back. She made things interesting. I do believe her when she said she was only, part of the account to shed light on what Jen was doing. I do believe her when she says that. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of like double standards happening. Um and if I'm going to be honest, I do think it was a little suspect for some of the ladies to accuse her of stealing things. Y'all know how I feel about that. We talked about it here already. Like, she's the only brown girl outside of Mary Cosby, who was a friend of this season, um, who's on the show. So to hear accusations like that, I just think Bravo fans, the Bravo universe, whatever you want to call it, Bravo celebrities, they kind of need to get a grip. And I don't know what it is about them not understanding the weight and the gravity of the things that they say. I think that's really messed up. I do. I also really hate how they are mean to Meredith. They're very much like high school bullies, like very mean girl, very catty. They like to isolate Meredith, blame her for things. She's the scapegoat of the group. I don't like that at all. Especially when not Wendy, Whitney and Heather and Lisa be causing the most drama, okay, amongst all of them. I don't like that they always want to try Meredith. They don't like the way she handles conflict, which I get it as somebody who's experienced a lot of trauma, like especially within like your home, like this space is supposed to be your safe place. Like she handles conflict in a way like she leaves and she diffuses the situation. And I have that same response. So I feel like I'm a little biased. You know what I'm saying? I have to be honest. I'm a little biased. And I happen to take a liking to her because I'm like, I get her. You know what I mean? Like I relate to her journey. And I'm not putting it in per, by the way. I'm just leaving it there so y'all can see the little, the flyer for the show. Yeah, so like I was saying, I feel like, I kind of relate to her. And so I don't like that. I don't know if she has a lot of Aquarius energy or what, but that's kind of how they treat her. They treat her like the outcast, like, and I think that's wrong to come down on how somebody, you know, if they've been through some things, respond to trauma. She does it as a way to protect herself, and she doesn't really fight them on a lot of things. And I take the same kind of approach to things. Like, if I know something's my truth, it makes no sense for me to sit here and fight you, because if you believe what you believe and your perspective is what your perspective is, you're not going to change that. You know what I mean? Like, your perspective is your reality. So I totally get her, and I hate that for her. I almost feel like she could go on to do better things. She's got a podcast with her husband and all that. She got her own store, she's involved in events and like philanthropy and stuff. So I'm like, go on, Meredith. Like, maybe, baby girl, you don't need this. You know what I mean? I wouldn't blame her if she let it go. So that's that on that. That's where I'm going to end that. I don't want to talk too much about it. So because of this iconic freaking season, I'm putting it in It's Giving Everything. Oh, sorry, I didn't explain the the rankings. So we have It's Giving Everything for the S tier. A tier is per with the little nail emoji. Mid is mid. Okay. D tier is confusion. And then F tier is you tried it, but absolutely not, child. Okay. So the next thing I got into this year was Versailles. Okay. Last year. I keep saying this year, child. Y'all know what it is when we have to adjust to the new year. So Versailles is a period piece, a lot of episodes, so very easy to binge, child, if you want to get into it. I'm kind of sad it's not still on, but I get it. Fashions are stunning, okay, in this. They really nailed it. I'm like, for me, I did this as research, okay, because, Johnny Depp is going to be King Louis, I believe, in whatever upcoming movie that is. So I wanted to do my research and learn about, like, okay, so what are they going to touch on? Maybe these are things that they're going to include, allude to. So that's why I initially watched this. So the drama is drama-ing in this as well. It's basically giving like soap opera. So if that's something you like, check it out. So where would I put this? I will say that the men were disgusting in this, and I feel like they did have gay representation, which I thought was really cool. Like a gay storyline and stuff. That was cute. What else? I just feel like maybe, okay, I don't know if I was born in the right quote unquote era. But I know that I could not have been born back then. You know what I mean? The way the men be talking, child, the rules and stuff, like, absolutely not. Like, I was born in, I think I'm getting more closer to accepting that maybe I was born in the right era. Because when I see things like this, I'm like, oh, honey, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would have been burned at the stake, child. So, and I'm not making that a joke. That's very sad because that actually did happen to people. So, oh, child. It's just like crazy to think about when you like watch this, and this is a drama, they're acting, and adding to it, I'm sure. But things like this did happen, child, when we see in the show, So, where would I give this? Place this. I guess I'll place it in per. It's per. I wouldn't say it's giving everything, but it's per. So the next one is Mortgage or Marriage, child. This was interesting. I did like that they showcased different couples, but they were based in one place, so I didn't like that part. I like places that kind of go around and you can see the variety, the diversity of situations, right? They did have some gay couples on here, so that was good. Interracial couples, that was good. And basically the premise of the show is that you have to choose between, you set aside a certain amount of money. So like say 20K, you can either spend this 20K on a marriage or 20K on a mortgage. So they have a realtor and then they have a wedding planner who are basically dueling it out. It's like love it or list it. Like you basically have to choose which one you want to do. So the wedding planner will plan out your entire wedding based on the things. They throw in a couple, we're going to give you this for free, little complimentary things to try and sway them. And then, the realtor will be trying to do the same thing, child, get a price cut on the property and all that, trying to entice them and all that. So, it's a good watch. It's a good watch. I would say it's mid. After all that, it's mid. Sorry. Okay. The another one that I watched that was real estate related, I guess, is Interior Design Masters. This one is based in Europe, I believe. I think in London or Manchester, one of the two. And it's basically like a group of designers that have to compete. They get a design challenge every week. They usually get the same space, same budget, and they have to do it over. And I just found it interesting because, like, European design style, I don't even know if that's like the word. I'm sorry if I'm being offensive. I don't mean to be. Um, Over the pond, the design style is very different, I feel like, than here in Northern America. Okay. Northern. Why I say it like that? um, yes, it's very different. And y'all know I ain't the type to be liking a lot of color like that. A lot of them did do a good job though with color. I've noticed that that was a theme, that having bold colors, having like not just like an accent wall, but like basing the design off of like an accent wall with like complementary colors or like similar like monochromatic kind of colors on the other walls, and then like building off that, like that's crazy to me. I don't know, that's just not how we do things. Here at least we're very much like all about the white, all about the beige, all about the grays, all about the neutrals. So yeah, I thought this is an interesting watch. It kind of challenged me, and um y'all know I'm into interior design. I almost actually went to school for that. So um yeah, I was like, okay, this made me think outside the box or whatever. I totally agree with who won. I love the person who won. They showed the most growth on the show, so give it a watch if you're into that kind of stuff. Where would I put this? It's good like for rainy days, you know what I'm saying? Where would I put this? It's definitely more than mid. I'll put it in per. It's a per moment. So the next one is Buying Beverly Hills. Child, this is the one with Mauricio and Kyle's family on it, and they do show. No, it's definitely given like a Selling Sunset vibe, where they're showing kind of like the inner workings and inner relationships of the realtors. Um, Theirs is a little bit more enmeshed, I would say. Like their business is more like family when they're coworkers. And a lot of times I found myself saying, like, y'all ain't got no boundaries. Like, what is this? Um, like they, incestuous, like sleeping together and stuff. So I'm just like, what is this? Like, y'all doing a lot. And then a lot of the show is based off of, and I believe there's another season coming. So if you want to binge what's there, you can. It's on Netflix. They basically, like, a lot of the show is about Mauricio and his family and him like trying to push his daughters into the real estate business, um and industry, and like how basically everybody else in the company realizes that they're nepo babies and get all the opportunities. So yeah, I would say it's mid because of that. But that again, they do show like really good properties, and I think they try. They tried, but it's giving mid. Okay. The next one is Designing Miami, which I don't believe is coming back, but I don't remember how many seasons they had, but basically it's a couple that are designers. They both have their own design companies, and they come together and they do joint projects for clients as well. More so the wife, I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry, but more so the wife is like the one at the helm of this show, and I loved seeing her design style. I love it. I think sometimes it was a little bit like um what's the word, um like not one tone but one dimensional, in the sense that sometimes she did the same thing over and over again, which is why I don't really like Chip and Joanna Gaines. Every time I watch their show, I'm like, you do the same design for every house, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. So she was giving that a little bit at times, but I feel like she does think outside of the box in ways too. Like there were a lot of times she had issues pop up and she had to think outside the box and offer something different. I love the pieces individually that she would pick out for the homeowners. She does do a lot of textural things. I feel like her style is a little bit like editorial too, which I love. Like I could see Vogue like pulling up and doing a photo shoot at one of her designs, design spaces or whatever. I love that. And then seeing like her with her entire crew, how they would band together and work together, child. I love that so much. They were giving that sense of like being a family, but it worked like more so a team, like a united team. And then the husband, he was trying to like start his own company basically. So we got to see that and how that, and I love seeing stuff like that when like they show the business side of it too and not just like the glitz and glamour. So I'm gonna put it in this giving because it was giving for me. Okay. Our next one is Big Brother Reindeer Games, first season. I was super annoyed that Frankie Grande was on it because, child, I was annoyed season 16 when he was on it too. I love seeing Taylor, which is something we're going to talk about here on the channel too. Taylor from the first Black woman that ever won Big Brother. Love seeing her on this. Love her down. And I would say it was cute. It was cute. I really would have wanted it to be a little bit longer, but that's okay. It was like what, maybe all of December, I want to say, but until Christmas or something like that. I think it's only like 12 days or something like that for the show in total. But other than that, it was fun. They did like, those family friendly, family fun games that you do in the holidays. So it was cute. It was getting cute. I really did ship Taylor and Josh though. Y'all watch and let me know. Because I feel like I don't know what it is with Taylor, but the men's of color, they be her biggest allies. They be riding hard for her. And I'm like, girl, how you like be like, I need you to like, you know, like Josh at every turn was just so adorable to me. He's like, I'll do this. I don't care if I go home. Like, I'll protect you. I just want to give you an out. Like, I'm like, oh my God, he is so cute. The way he ride for her. So yeah, it was cute. It was cute. I did not like seeing Cody. Cody's kind of like, I don't want to say annoying. I don't want to drag people. um, Cody is just kind of the quintessential person that we would see on these reality shows for me. Um, and at every turn, he proves himself not to be an ally to the femme people that he builds relationships with. And I think it's just icky. Like Nicole, for example, has been with him multiple times. I actually didn't finish watching his season of Celebrity Big Brother, which Nicole was on. But come to find out, shocker, shocker, like he in that season of Big Brother, I mean Celebrity Big Brother, or what was it? Yeah, was it Celebrity or was it like All Stars or something like that? It was like Celebrity, I mean Big Brother All Stars or something like that. And he yet again did not pick Nicole. So I just feel like he betrays women from what I can see on these shows, and I don't like it. He always has to do like, I'm sticking with the men, like the men pack. I hate that kind of stuff, and I hate seeing that on Big Brother. So I'm gonna put this in mid. I'll put it in mid. The other thing I watched was the Harry and Meghan stuff, which everybody named Mama was talking about. I'm gonna sit this down for a second. That's not gonna be the official ranking. Okay, just know it's not the official ranking. So Harry and Meghan, child, that was a lot of the talk of the town in 2023, right? Right? I don't remember. Maybe it was 2022 and I watched it in 2023. I don't know. I don't have a lot of thoughts on it, to be quite honest. It definitely felt like in response to a lot of what the media has said about Meghan, it felt a lot of like, for me, like image rehab, not rehab, but like managing the narrative for me is kind of how it felt. And more so her, because she was doing most of the talking. If you look, you watch the series or whatever. Oh, the other thing I watched with this was the twin flame thing. Oh, dang. I don't think I have a flyer for that. But anyways, she was doing a lot of talking, So I think I have to put it in I'm confusion, because for me, I feel like it wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't interesting, because like it is their real lives that they're living, and I feel awful for like the stuff that they're going through. I just think people made it more salacious than what it was because it was them. You know what I mean? If you like, I feel like this is, if you scale it down, like way scale it down, um, their relationship is probably like more relatable for like the average couple. You know what I mean? Like where your family doesn't really care for the other people, you know, your person. And I think it's more relatable when you think about it in that way. But because they're royals, it's like so, oh my god, blown out of proportion. And look at what's happening, and you know the scrutiny is so much more. So yeah, but for me, I'm like, these are just regular people. I'm like, when I was watching, I'm like, these are regular people dealing with family drama, child, like the rest of us, child. So yeah, I was a little confused. I didn't really understand the point of it. I thought it was going to be about their love story, or you know what they're doing now, since they did share about that a little bit. You know, they did, but I felt like a big chunk of it was trying to manage their image and manage the narrative a little bit, which is fine. They have the right to do that. So, yeah. Um, okay, the next one was Hack My Home, which Kempire kind of put a lot of folks onto this. And basically, it's like a bunch of engineers who get together to try and hack people's homes. And there's, I think no, they're all engineers, I think. Oh, no, no, no. The man in the suit on the flyer, if you see here, I don't know his name, but I'm so sorry. But he's the designer, and then everyone else are engineers. And I love that we got to see a black woman engineer per, as well as you know white woman engineer per. The man, okay, that was the engineer, got under my skin. Okay, he was kind of annoying to me. I feel like he would do like smaller tasks out of everybody, and then like, but he would blow it so out of proportion because it was like related to the kids. He felt like it had like so much value, and it did have value. I don't want to like drag what his stuff. It's pretty innovative, but I just feel like I don't know how much everybody did, but he kind of felt like, you know, when you got to assign a group project and he's like the one that does the least, but like he the loudest about what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what he was given. I'm so sorry. That's what he was given. So, yeah, but if you watch it, their designs are wild. Like some of the stuff they come up with, and I love it because I had been a tiny homer for so long. I'm not anymore. I'm more of like I want to live in a condo type feel now. Um, but I used to be into like the, you know, how can you hack a space, and I'm very much into that now. Like, I want my design, whatever I'm doing, to be efficient and functional and make sense and have a lot of storage options, and so my space can be clean, and you know everything has its place. I'm very much that kind of person, so I love seeing how they were able to do that in the spaces that they had, which weren't the easiest to navigate. So I'll put that in mid. It was mid. It was good, but it was mid. You know what I mean? So the next one, I'm gonna put them all in mid so y'all can see them. I'll put them in mid first, and then I'll like place it. So Dream Home Makeover, ciao. This one was giving HGTV channel in this, and not in a good way, in the sense that like it's the same formula we always see on HGTV. You know, we got the white husband, the white wife, and the white. You know, they both have the same like, I call it blogger babe style, but that's not what it is, I'm sure. Um, but it gives like blogger babe in the sense that it's like all brass, hardware and white and blacks and like and wood and wicker and like some of those natural elements. Um, and then doing like, I don't know why, but like I feel like the blogger babe style very much likes doing like half paints on walls. So we saw a lot of that. She was very much like, the wife did most of the designing, but I also didn't like where it was based. I think it was based in like Utah or something, so there wasn't much diversity at all with the clients that we saw in the show. And then there wasn't much diversity in the design style. Like I felt like they all basically, if I take a look and step back and look back, I'm like, they basically had the same design in all their homes. So I didn't like that. And I'm like questioning because I'm like, there are other designers out there. Like where, you know, Egypt. Yeah, like, y'all, have y'all seen Egypt on HGTV? I'm like, there's Egypt, there's Mr. Kate. Like there's so many other people out here that, you know, have more than like that coastal it's not even minimal at this point. It's like light and bright, you know, bright and white kitchen style. Like there's more than that out there, and I don't know why we keep. I say we, but the industry, why they keep pouring money into the same old is annoying to me. When I watched this show, I did not think that's what I was signing up for, but that's what I got, and I did not care. I was like, girl, basically this became put it on in the background for me. So I'm gonna put it in. You tried it, but absolutely not. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The other one, because I got into telenovelas this last year. I almost said this, but last year I really got into telenovelas. I don't know why. I think because the stories are so compelling. I love it. I love it. And like they just hop right into the freaking story. Like there's no waiting. Like within the first 5 minutes, you're getting like, what is it? I wouldn't say drama, but basically like drama on drama, and it's like, oh, child, we just hopping right in. We ain't wasting no time, and I respect that. You know what I'm saying? The story is really like most of the time like super good with twists and turns, but it doesn't go on for too long. I feel like on average, these shows like the telenovelas I watch had like 2 seasons, maybe 5 at most, so they were really good. It's like the perfect amount. You know what I'm saying? So one that I watched was called Toy Boy Child. I was not expecting it to be what it was. Some of the telenovelas that I saw were very based in intimate relations. So I didn't like that because there was basically given like soft core corn, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that kind of stuff personally. Um I feel like there are ways to film things to insinuate relations like that. You don't need to show them basically like doing a doggone thing. So I don't like that personally. But this one didn't have that. Some of the other ones I watched did, but this one didn't. I felt like it was very good story in a way. Like there was mystery involved. They kind of flipped the gender norms on the head. Like the men were being objectified in this rather than the women. The women often were like in positions of power in this movie in the show. So it was really good. I like that aspect of it. Um, Definitely colorism. I do notice that in telenovelas, it's wild. The colorism go crazy. So I didn't like that part. That we got like one dark skinned black man in this show, and basically they had him doing like all the stereotypical stuff that we see in over here as well. So I was just like, stop it, y'all need to stop. But yeah, wild. There's some other aspects of this that I really like, but those are like the main points. So I will put it in per. I liked it. It really challenged me. I was like, oh, okay. The next one is the surrogacy. The next telenovela I'll talk about, child. This one was on the longer side, and it definitely showcased colorism more. I felt so bad. I was getting hated for the lead actress. I was getting heated, child. Like the way they was trying to paint her and the stuff they was doing to her, like crazy, crazy, crazy. Um, I did like the way it was filmed. It's more like my speed as far as like the coloring, the cinematography. I say is what I call it. Yeah, I be saying it all funny, um, but yes, it was pretty good, pretty freaking good. Hold please. Okay, here we go. Um, mhm, I liked it, and then I would say too, if you are hypersensitive to bigotry, don't watch this because there were several points where my blood pressure was raised where like they had certain people saying bigoted stuff and like acting in them ways. I was just like, stop, bro. Like stop. Like and how it was going down to the generations. I was like, ooh, but overall I think it was a decent ending. Decent. So I'll put this in per as well. Okay. The next one we're gonna talk about is Surviving Paradise Child. This show was so good. Is literally is Survivor and Big Brother merged together in the show. Basically, you can either be somebody. Oh, I can't remember what they called them. But basically, there's a group that gets to stay in the house that's on the hill or whatever, and the other group, because based on every week they have to do like eliminations and stuff, so and decide who's gonna be where, whether you're in the house or you're on the campgrounds. And if you're on the campgrounds, you have to stay outside, and basically you're camping. You don't get amenities, okay? You don't get good food options. Wild stuff. I'm like, how do these people keep coming up with this stuff like that's basically rooted in classism? And I'm like, I wonder why these shows are so fascinating, because that's basically what they're showing. And I'm like, is anybody taking notes? Like, um, but yeah, so there were several delusional people, I think. I don't know if there's going to be another season, but there were some delusional people that I did not like. There were people who were like doing things, um, I guess like acts of kindness, but in the hopes that it would get them in the, what do you call it, in the house or whatever, like being a have. And I'm like, that's messed up. Like, we should be doing the kind things just to do the kind things, not because you trying to, earn brownie points. um I did not like how some of the people were betrayed in this. I thought that was foul. I loved who won. Don't get me wrong. The people who won, I love that they won. Also, and I think her name was Tabitha. I think it was Tabitha on the show. She got under my skin. I just don't like people who like to play dirty. Um, I get that they're, like villains are needed for these shows to work and function, but I still, I don't have to like them just because they're the villain and they're serving their purpose. Like, I don't like them still. I don't like how they moving. I don't like that they a snake. I don't like that. I don't like that they ain't got no morals and no integrity. I don't like that. I still don't like it. And like, um, so yeah, there were certain pieces that I did not like about that. But I think overall, it was giving everything when I was watching it. I'm not gonna lie, it was giving everything, child. I was like, ooh, and they had to they kept adding people, and the other people, like the original folks, was getting mad, and I was like, child, good TV. The next one is Rap-ish. We're censoring for the sake of YouTube. Rap-ish was pretty good. I started watching it 2023. I know it's been on for a little minute or whatever. Basically, it's about, like, I believe, right? It's rooted in JT and Young Miami coming up as a girl group from the City Girls, and Chameleon has done her freaking thing with this show. So has the other actress too. I feel like a lot of people talk about Chameleon, but the other girl, she be holding her own too. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I don't know her name. I mean no disrespect. Um, I love seeing their dynamic. I love seeing them. It's a little cheesy if someone's trying to act like they're not acting, or they have to act like an actor within the show or something like that, or movie. But I like that they were doing other things. Like, they also had to perform as rappers, and I liked it. I don't know. It was a little dimensional in that piece, and I like the fact that they're not code switching in the show. Um, what else? It just feels really authentic. But with Issa Rae at the helm, it is going to feel like that. I feel like she does such a good job of showcasing the Black femme perspective, and oh, child, a lot of mess be going down, honey. I think she shows the show kind of what's the word? It does a great job of depicting like the ups and downs being a Black woman, right? Like, especially if you're trying to come up in an industry, people trying to make passes at you, really not caring how they violate you, wanting to silence you. And the fact that, like, a lot of this too, so far where I'm at in the show, they showcase somebody who's kind of like an Iggy Azalea, which I don't really care for Iggy Azalea for the exact reasons that they show on the show. Basically like co-opting Blackness and doing like digital blackface and all that kind of stuff. So, being a cultural appropriator, profiting off of it, because usually if you put a white face on Black things, it makes more money. So I like that they showed that piece in there too, them having to navigate that. So yeah, I don't know. I liked it. It's super dimensional, bro. That's like the word I would say. So I'm gonna put that in. It's giving everything. It's giving everything. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, can y'all see that? Oh yeah. Okay, we just like wrote that down. Okay. The next one is Selling Sunset, which if I'm not mistaken, didn't they give us 2 seasons in 2023? They was working overtime, child. We still haven't gotten Selling OC. But anyways, so Selling Sunset, honey. It's one of my faves. I have to say, it's one of my faves. I don't like all the drama that be going on, especially when it comes to oh, what's her name? Chelsea? Is it Chelsea? Um, Sometimes they are definitely giving, which by the way, Carlos King did do an interview with her, and I thought it was really good. Um, but I don't like how they be villainizing her sometimes. And I got so upset at certain points where I felt like they were ganging up on her. Um, and I don't like that she caught the flack for what everybody else was saying, and she kind of was like, basically what she was describing is what we talked about in the "Why Does Society Shame and Shun Black Women" video. How she was kind of talked up and like, yeah, you should say something. You should say something. You should tell them how you feel. And then when she did, then she's the villain. I didn't like that. Bree, I am 50-50 on Bree. I'm not gonna lie. I do think she was valid. She's valid for a lot of things, but how she moves sometimes, I don't know. Ugh, ugh, I don't know. I have feelings about it. I didn't like how they were trying to paint Chriselle this season like she's a mean girl villain. I think Chriselle displays what most people who have been through traumatic situations, especially when it comes to groups, um, where you reach a point where you're like, you're not going to get over on me anymore. I'm going to set my boundaries. They're going to be very strict, very hard. And if you push back on them, you will hear my bark, you will hear my roar. And I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's her being a mean girl, because the girl who gives MAGA, y'all know what I'm talking about? The girl who's on the show that gives MAGA energy, Karen energy. I can't stand when people antagonize someone over and over and over again. And when they finally say, I've had enough, um, they stand up for themselves. All of a sudden, like, that person who's been antagonizing them is a victim for how the other person reacted. That's called reactive abuse. I'm not here for that kind of stuff. So I thought the girl got everything she had coming, to be quite honest, because she did some very unethical things. I'm not here for that kind of stuff. So I think Chriselle is holding her own. I'm very proud of her. When you see how she has started, I've had a similar experience, but just on a much smaller scale in the workplace. So I like, again, I'm biased, I relate. um, but seeing how she started out being very open and loving and wanting to accept everyone and be nice to everyone, and then seeing how some of these girls didn't like that she was basically the star of the show. And kind of tried to take her kindness for weakness at times. So I love seeing that she's evolved to, be the strong, no BS type person that we see. She is always ready to clap back. I'm like, let's go, girl. I'm here for it. So I'm putting it in, it's giving everything. But I do have to say, I don't like that they always focus on the drama. I wish they really would focus more on the real estate, in my opinion. That's just for me. I think it gets way too catty. I'm like, we're focusing too much on y'all's inner relationships and beefs. I'm over it. Overall, it's a good show though. So the next one is Nailed It, a little food competition show. Basically, it's kind of funny. Like I think they're all amateur home cooks or chefs or bakers or something like that. And like self-taught and all that. And I don't think they're self-taught. It's kind of like as they're going through the show, they're like learning how to bake. They are given like an example and shown how to do it by an expert, and then they have to try and replicate it. It's kind of a messed up show because they basically are just humiliating themselves on the show, but I like to see the aspect of them learning and growing as the show goes on. So that's that on that. I would say it's mid. It's mid. The next one is Pressure Cooker. We did do a review of that on this channel, so I'm not going to go too much into it. It was giving Big Brother just food version, like food competition version. I'm going to put it in. It's giving everything. I thought it was engaging, very entertaining. I love seeing the food. Y'all know there was some delusional people that was talking about, so check out the review or whatever. I do feel like there was some delusional people. We also got the same unethical type villain character person on the show. I can't remember her name right now. But I talk about it in the full review or whatever. So yeah, it's good. It was good. It was good. It was good. And I also like who won that show too. The next one, food related, is I said I was gonna put them all in it. Okay, so it is cook at all costs. It's pretty good. If y'all have seen, there's like a grocery cooking competition show where they have to go in and buy groceries with their budget and cook something based off the challenge that they get, like with the groceries that they have. And they only get that amount of money for all 3 rounds. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that show. So they get this one though is a little bit different. They get to like kind of auction and like put in bids for what ingredients they want, and then they have to cook based on that. And they get boxes, and each box there's like a save box, a luxury box, I think, and then what's the middle one? It's just kind of like mid, like so they don't break a bank, but they start out with a certain amount of money in the bank. They have to get their box, put a bid on whatever box they want. And then as they cook, they get the opportunity to get more ingredients and have to bid on those ingredients and whatever other like support or advice they get. So yeah, it's a pretty good show. Basically, they could be conniving or they can just try to save, and whatever money they have left by the end of the competition is what they take home. So it's an interesting show. It is. It is. I'm gonna put it in mid. I'm gonna leave it in mid because it is mid, but it's good. It's good. Okay, it's good. The next one is called Fake Profile Chow. This one was wild too. This is a telenovela, so just so you know. What are my thoughts on this show? It's kind of messed up. Like what happened? I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of messed up. I will recommend it though. It's an interesting watch and some twists and turns. Low key like stalker behavior, low key delusional. I'm not gonna lie. Giving catfish. So yeah, if you like that, then that's that on that, child. This is the show for you. That's the most basic description, but I'm trying to remember everything that happened. I remember like bits and pieces, so it doesn't like stick out too much in my mind. So I'm gonna leave it in mid. The next one is Always a Witch, child. I love this. Y'all know I'm into like the mystical stuff, witchy, spiritual, sci-fi, fantasy. That's definitely like the realm I like to live in, child. If I'm watching stuff, I love stuff with stories. If it's not reality TV, give me a good story. You know what I'm saying? So this one was good. If I remember, how many seasons was it? Was it like 5 or something like that? I don't remember. But really freaking good. I love that we got a brown girl as the lead, honey. And the time travel aspect of it all was pretty cool. The magic aspect of it was cool. The fact that she was a witch and everything. I did not like the depictions that we saw of colonization, okay, and the colorism and the slavery that we saw in this. I did not like seeing that, but I get it. They did it for the story. They had to do it for the story, whatever, for it to make sense. Yeah, so what else would I say about this? I love that everybody named Mama was like wanting her. I do. It kind of had elements of Supernatural if you like that show. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into it, but if you like Supernatural, you might like this too. Like, yeah, there were some twists and turns as well. There were some twists and turns. I didn't like that. Some of the dudes that was interested in her didn't really want her to be her own free thinking independent woman. I thought that was messed up. That annoyed the ish out of me. I'm not gonna lie. And then what else? What else about this show? That's kind of it. That's where I'll leave it. It's really good. It's a good watch. It's a good watch. Very, I would say this is another one. Very engaging. Um, what else? The ending was effed up. I love that she basically had like a family of misfits. I'm always here for that kind of stuff. That was cute. It was cute. So I'm gonna say it's giving everything. It was giving everything. The next one is High Heat. This is another telenovela. This one was an interesting story, but this was the one that was giving softcore corn at times. Um, I didn't like that we saw like basically in any of them, honestly, in any of the telenovelas, they were showing a lot of like verbal, mental, emotional uh trauma, I guess. I'm substituting a word like the ABUSE word. Um so yeah, I didn't like that they were showing that. I didn't like how there was basically like a son and a father trying to go for the same girl. Like it was a little incesty in that regard. It was a little like no. We did get a gay storyline, which I love. And to be honest, I was more interested in the gay storyline. And anything that has a gay storyline, I'm more interested in it than the straight ones. I'm just gonna have to say it. Yes, I am. We also got a toxic masculinity storyline in this as well. What else, Chad? What else? It's pretty good. It's pretty dang on good. I didn't like the sexism that we saw in this, though. I do have to be honest. This one is heavy on colorism. I don't think I saw anybody that was brown, if I remember correctly. They're all basically white. So I did not like that at all. It's pretty. It's got some good twists and turns. So definitely check it out. It this one has more of a soap opera vibe to it, which I know, right? But this one like really, really is soap opera, child. Um, yeah, so I would leave it in. I'd say it's per. It was giving per. The story was giving per. I did get exhausted after. I don't remember how many seasons was it for both of these, the Surrogacy and High Heat. I think they had more seasons, and for that, I was like, I'm kind of exhausted. Basically, once I made it to the last season, I was like, I'm ready for this stuff to be over now. Like, y'all wearing me out, child. Okay. Now the next one is Insecure, honey. Let me see if I can pull up the Twin Flame Netflix series, and we'll talk about that one too if I remember. Escaping Twin Flames, that's the one I'm talking about. Because I almost fell into that little rabbit hole. Not with the people, but with that whole side of the internet is what I'm saying. So anyways, Insecure. They finally put it on Netflix, so I finally had access because I never had HBO Max. I think that's what it was on for a long time, right? Issa Rae, she always knows how to tell the story of a Black woman, of Black women in general. I love that this gives multiple perspectives, Black women in different areas and spaces, phases of their lives coming together. I hated the ending because it was kind of selling a fantasy, like that Black love fantasy, when the man in question does not actually participate in that in real life. Kim from For Harriet talks about that, how they be pushing that, but ain't be about that. um, so yeah, but it was a really good story. I love the way it's shot. I always love anything that Issa Rae does. She puts her all into it. She's very much about the culture. She always features and includes the culture. She weaves that into the story. I love that so much, that she's just very authentic with her productions, her concepts, like where she takes things. Fashions are always on point, always rooted in like I would say fashions, hair, makeup are always Afrocentric for me anyway. And I feel like every single character, like Black femme character, I can relate to, which is interesting. Even if I haven't like experienced that part of life yet, I just relate to it and I respect it. And I'm like, I don't know. It was a perfect. I think she said somewhere there's like the love letter to Black women everywhere. And I would agree with that. I think the sisterhood they show, awesome, 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 awesome. The different emotional levels that are at play, as we walk the world in intersections of injustice and all that, child. So yes, it's a masterpiece. I can't say enough good things about it. I was going to do a whole dedicated video to it, but I just didn't have the time, and I feel bad I didn't have the time. But it's a freaking masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Okay, so watch it if you haven't already. So let's see if I can get this to where y'all see the rankings. Oh, child is too far out. Oh, we had it. We had it. Let's see if I can go back. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I want you to see all the tears. Okay. So it's going and it's giving everything. It's giving everything. The last one I want to talk about, honey, is it Cake 2? Oh wait, I'm lying. Is It Cake 2, which is the second season of Is It Cake, is a pretty good show as well. Basically you're watching along as the viewer of the show, having, and they have a judge. Well, they have 3 judges, I think, that come in and have to determine if something is an object or if something is a cake made to look like an object. And they have different, what are they called? I think they're called like cake experts or something like that. That do the competition and the different challenges. And so you, as a viewer, you're also trying to decide like what's cake and what's not. And it's so interesting. I love just seeing how they are basically scientists. I always say like I'm not a good baker because bakers basically baking to me is just science but with food. like chemistry but with food. So I just think these people are super mega talented. How they get things to be so realistic is so interesting. All they cake be sounding good, like all the flavors they be choosing. I love how supportive they are of each other. I don't think I've ever seen a season or like an episode where someone has been undermining the other people, like cake wars. They be trying to they be praying for people's cakes to fall and stuff. Like they're not like that. It's very good vibes on this show. So yeah. I'm gonna put it in per. It's a good little watch. I will say though, it will make you freaking hungry for some sweets. So make sure y'all got sweets on deck or whatever. Okay, if you into that. So the last one I'm going to talk about is Escaping Twin Flames. I think it's only like 3 episodes or something, docu-series so far. I don't know if they're going to have more episodes come out, but about these people who basically have duped certain people based on the concept of twin flames, which has become super popular. I was at the beginning start of like the twin flame stuff, like when it started to get really, I don't want to say like really popular, but it was just more talked about like in 2017, like when people started getting online and talking about it. Whereas like now it's more like normalized, whereas back then it like really wasn't. So if you are part of like the spiritual community on YouTube, you know that this is a huge thing. We got 1,000,001 tarot readers talking about twin flames, and it's just, I feel like it's an environment that fosters Delulu. Okay, it does. It fosters Delulu. I remember thinking like when that whole thing first started for me, like 2017. I was thinking like, oh, that person's my twin flame. Oh, that person's my twin. Oh, like you start just like your brain, I think, like fills in the spaces. I don't know. It's wild. It's wild. So I think it was good to expose this whole thing, because as the spiritual community grows on YouTube, unfortunately, people are profiting off of people, other people's vulnerabilities and the desire to be in love, to have love. A lot of the things I feel like too that comes up in this is like how it can drive an obsession with someone's ex and like thinking that they're your twin flame, and like some of the people talk about like the things that they did, how they got in trouble with the law because certain groups, online groups, And I think I'm gonna make my little prediction. Y'all know I'm into astrology and stuff. When the North Node goes into Pisces, I think we're gonna see an influx of online mini cults, um, because it's bound to happen as the spiritual community grows, as it becomes more normalized, as people aren't as afraid to tap into the occult, and um, it's not as taboo. I think we're going to see more people like eat this up, and it's unfortunate because at the end of the day, there are those out there that are trying to scam and just make money off the situation, off of people's vulnerabilities. And I think one thing that really has to come out of this is people knowing like the twin flame journey, child. Um, if you on one, it's always going to lead back to you. Okay. It's not going to be something that's like you're gonna, I guess maybe, because I mean, I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything, child. Maybe you could end up with, the person you think is your twin flame or whatever. But most of the time, at least from what I've heard from others and what I've experienced myself, it is basically just a self-love journey. It's something to like get you back to yourself, especially if you're someone who's experienced trauma and things like that. A really good creator to look to for this, for like a healthy perspective on it, I would say is Evolving Spiritually. I think I've talked about Evolving Spiritually here before on the channel. um she talks about how, before that used to be the, like, as an online tarot reader, those were the readings that got a lot of views, with people talking about twin flames and love and will my ex come back. And she had to stop um doing that because she realized, like, basically you're keeping people in codependent cycles. You're keeping them, attached to this idea, and they're constantly focused on the other person, not focused on themselves. And so she had to pull away. She felt like it was inauthentic, and she pulled away, and she started just saying, like, basically you just need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on healing yourself, and that's it. And that's what I want the biggest takeaway to be, I think, from this. I don't know if that's really going to be the case. I think, unfortunately, right now it's in the phase where I think a lot of people are going to look at this and think negatively of the spiritual community as a whole right now, you know what I'm saying, versus maybe in a couple years they'll get that piece. So yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about it, but not everybody's out here trying to scam, but there are people that are, unfortunately. So we have to be vigilant, and it can be very dangerous. So I guess I don't want to say it's a per. I'll leave it in mid. It's mid. It basically, for me, I mean, I knew this stuff because I was like there. You know what I mean? Like back when these obscurities, like obscure figures were like coming out, and like you could totally see that it was inauthentic. Um, Wild. So now for me, I'm like, okay, just confirmed everything. But let's take a look at where I would like everything sitting. So, for the it's giving everything S tier. How would I rank this? Insecure is 1. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Um, Rap shit is 2nd. Oop, I said the word. Sorry. I was trying not to. Always a Witch is 3rd. Salt Lake City Housewives for the most recent season. And then Selling Sunset. And then Mask Girl. I will put Mask Girl there. And then I'll say Pressure Cooker, Surviving Paradise, and Designing Miami. So that's where I would have everything sitting. Okay. For the It's Giving Everything S tour, I have Insecure, Rap-ish, Always a Witch, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Selling Sunset, Mask Girl, Pressure Cooker, Surviving Paradise, and Designing Miami. So I'm happy with that. That's where I would have everything sitting, child. That's how they rank for me. These are the best shows, in my humble opinion, of 2023. Then let's go to the A tier or whatever. Per with the little nails. Per. Okay. I'm gonna put The Surrogacy, Toy Boy, Versailles, Hmm. High heat. Yeah, I would keep it like this. High heat, stay here, interior design masters, and is it cake too? Actually, uh, no, I'll leave it like that. I'll leave it like that. So for the A tier per nail emoji, I got the Surrogacy, Toy Boy, Versailles, High Heat, Stay Here, Interior Design Masters, and Is It Cake 2. That's how they rank. For me, these are like the B tier, A, B, whatever you want to say, tier. So for the C tier, the mid is what we call a mid. Okay, let's see where I want everything sitting. So, um, I think I would say Hack My Home first, Big Brother Reindeer Games second, then maybe Fake Profile, then Buying Beverly Hills, then Mortgage or Marriage, then Escaping Twin Flames, and then Cook at All Costs, and Nailed It. So that's how they rank. I would say Hack My Home, Reindeer Games, Fake Profile, Buying Beverly Hills, Marriage or Mortgage, Escaping Twin Flames, Cook at All Costs, and Nailed It for the mid tier. Okay. Then for the last two tiers, there's only one in each. For the D tier, I'm Confusion. I got Harry and Meghan. Sorry, y'all. And then the F tier, I got You Try, which is You Tried It, but absolutely not. It's going to be Dream Makeover, Home Makeover, Dream Home Makeover. Okay. So that would be the worst show of 2023, in my humble opinion, that I watched. Okay. So this is my official ranking, child. Y'all let me know if you watch these shows. Where would they land for you? Will you watch any of these shows if you haven't seen them? What were some shows that you really liked in 2023? What were flops in your opinion? Let us know. Let us know. I am interested to find out. So that's kind of that on that, child. That's what we're gonna, end it or whatever. Um, I want to invite you or whatever to check out the Patreon. We got some unpopular opinions over there, tarot readings, because the internet has been ablaze, honey. Since the year started, we're in an 8-year energy, which is like Scorpio energy, Saturn energy, child. So, what's been done in the dark, child, is all coming out. It's being unearthed. Okay. So we done a lot of tarot readings over there so far. We only 3 weeks into the year, child. Not even. Well, we will be 3 weeks into the new year. So, which is kind of wild. It's kind of wild. But yeah, so let us know, you know what I'm saying? Like, what shows you was watching, what would you recommend or whatever. And if you want more content like this, just check out the link in the description for the link to Patreon. Okay, so that's it on that. So thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Okay, thanks, bye. Bye.